Hi there, I'm Johnson Praise, your captain on this educational voyage at Johnson Praise TV. Please join me as we navigate through the intricate waters of UGRC150. UGRC150 is all about critical thinking and practical reasoning, and I'm going to be your online or your YouTube lecturer here. So I'll be recording videos on this course for you. So please make sure you give us all your support and be sharing our links with your friends. I've already released a video on session 1, so if you have not watched that one, just go through that. In the session 1, we were able to delve more into the subject sentence shape thought. That is what the interrogatives, the imperatives, the declaratives, the emotive expressions, fragments, and the metaphors. And also we're able to delve more into the implicit and then explicit meanings of what a word. And I think I gave you a quiz on that, right? Yes. And those of you who actually followed me, I gave them quiz. That is all online, right? I gave them some assignments whilst the lecture was ongoing. I asked them to participate in some assignment for me, so they did that, and I've been able to attend to them. So please make sure you visit that one, and then you try that one. You try your hands on it. You drop the answer under the comment section, and then I'll go to it for you. So please join me as we actually walk you through this specific course. And please make sure you smash that notification button to give me a follow, and also try to join our growing community. Yeah, we are trying our best to record videos on most of your courses. I don't only record videos on critical thinking, but I record videos on academic writing, both 1 and 2, videos on information studies, videos on how do you call it, that is business administration, and probably I may add psychology and education to it. That is education. So please make sure you follow us and so share the video with your friends. It takes us so many time to prepare this video, so when we record the video and you get the opportunity to watch and benefit from it, don't just leave it like that. Please share it with your friends, share it in your groups with your friends, so they can also benefit from it. Without really wasting much time, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for your support. Okay, God bless you for everything you are doing for us. And I also want to share this exciting opportunity with you. If you have a brother or a sister who wants to actually travel outside, being it work or education, let a person get in touch with me. I have some offers in Canada, US. I also have some offers in these countries, that's Poland, Singapore, Belarus, Serbia, Qatar, and Mongolia. So let's get in touch with me on 0545412017. And I also want to let you know that those who are actually having businesses and maybe they find it difficult to grow their business, or maybe need some innovative ideas to improve their businesses, you get in touch with me. I'm a digital marketer, and I will actually come in and give you the needed advice on how you can improve your business. So I'm a consultant as well, so please get in touch with me on 0545412017, or you can follow my firm on social media handles. That's TopStrat, that is TopStrat Digital, or Top Strategy Digital Marketing. Yeah, you follow us we are available on all the social media handles and the internet. So get in touch with us, and we'll see our best. We'll promote your business for you. Now let's start. Like I told you, today we will be delving more into the definitions, right? The various types of definitions. Without wasting my time, let's start something. Today we are going to look at the connotations and then the denotations first, before the other ones, before the equivocations and the various types of definitions, and then the problems of definitions. This is what we'll be doing today. So before now let's start. Okay, we have two aspects of definition. Each and every aspect is either it being defined in its connotational way or its denotational way. So we'll delve more into what a connotation and denotation is. So when you talk of connotation, what does it mean? Okay, if you understand or you know it, drop the answer under the comment section. Okay, let me start. When you talk of connotation, it is when you try to explain or give a meaning of a word by or describe a word, or give a meaning of a word by what? Giving it features, attribute, and then properties, right? If you are trying, you try to give a description of what? It's when what? You try to what? Give a meaning of a word by giving what? A description of the features, attribute, properties, and then properties of the range of what? The subject. So that is all about the connotation. So with the connotation, it is all about what? You giving a meaning of a word by highlighting its features, its attributes, and properties. That is all about it. And with the connotational definitions, we use them each and every day, but it's like the only thing is that you don't really understand it, or you don't really have a fair idea about it. But that is how the connotations are. Do you understand it? That's how they are. Let me give you an example. If I say that head is the upper part of human body, that human body or animal body that contains the head and the face. All right, it is what? A connotational definition. Why is it a connotational definition? It's a connotational definition because I stated what? The features of what? Of what? Of a head. Head is not only human beings that have head, but what? Animals also what? Have head. So I gave the features. And I also went ahead to say that it contains what? The brain and the face. It's what? Is the head is what? Is the upper part of human body that contains the head, that contains the face, and then the brain. Yes, animals also have brain, and they also have what? They have face. Do you get what we are trying, or what I'm trying to explain to you? So I captured the features and the attributes of that specific word. Now you can think about any other word and then trying to capture its features and its attribute. Now can you do something like that? Now let's go. Drop your definition. Drop that example under the comment section. I'll mark it for you. The moment you drop it, I'll mark it. So a connotation. So indicate if it is connotation. Indicate it, right? So you can say that a connotation of let's say like electronic device. Then you explain it. Connotation of a flower. You explain it. Connotation of a fan. You explain it. You get it. So please. Let's drop the answer, your answer, and let me see. I'll mark it for you. Another example. If I say that let me give another example. Another example is that if I say that phone is an electronic device for receiving and making calls. It is what? A connotational definition, because I didn't just state how or I didn't state whether it is. I didn't just state what the definition of the of phone, right, or mobile phone. But what? I gave it features, properties, and attributes that it is what? An electronic device. And yes, phones are electronic devices. So I gave you the features of what? Of phone. And it's what? And then I gave you the functions, its properties, its attributes. Do you get it? So I say that after it being an electronic device, it also functions as what? It functions in what? Either you may using it to make call, or using it to what? To receive call. It is it. Or if I say that phone is a communication device for messaging, testing, and browsing. It is true. Phone is also a communication device. Do you get it? So these connotational definitions are some of the definitions you see in the dictionary and the normal ways of what explaining concept. This is what connotation. Please, if you have not attempt my assignment, drop it under the comment section. Let's look at the other aspect of what or the other aspect of what definition. I said we have two aspects of what definition. We have connotation, we have denotation. So let's look at the denotation. When you talk of definition, denotation is when you try to what explain what with a connotation. The denotation refers to what definition that conveys the meaning of a word by giving examples. So a definition that conveys a meaning of a word by just giving examples. Now you can think of it. You can think about it. Let me give you an example. The meaning of mobile phone, for example, iPhone, Samsung, Nokia, Motorola, Alcatel, Itel, get it? It is what? A denotation, because I explained it, but I didn't really give you the features and attributes, but rather gave the examples of phones that we have. What iPhone, we have Samsung, we have Motorola, we have Nokia, Lumia, we have so on and so forth. It is what? A denotation. If you understand it, drop a comment, give example of a denotation, and let me see. Drop it under the comment section and let me see. Also, let's look at this one. Even number, for example, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It is what? It is example of what? A denotation. Why is it a denotation? It is a denotation because people, I didn't really give the features and attributes, but I gave you what? Examples of what? Even numbers. With this one, I use what? The patterns, and then if someone do not really understand what even number is, and you give this person, at least the person is human being, you'll be able to look at the patterns and the relations of that words, that figures I have given. It is 2. From 2, I didn't mention 3, but I mentioned 4. So the person will know that even if the person knows nothing, you know that then if you are counting, you count 1, you leave 1, and you mention 1. You count 1, you leave 1. Even though the person do not understand or don't understand it, but he or she will be able to what? Follow the same pattern and do it. So if I say if you give even numbers starting from 20 to starting from 10 to 20, the person knows that when you started your own, you mentioned from 2, you didn't mention 3, you left 3 there. You mentioned it. So me too, when I'm starting, I know that there are 2 different 2 intervals, okay? Or it is when you add 2 to all the numbers, then you get it. So when you started, you mentioned 2, and you added 2 to that number, you had 4. You added 4 to what? You added 2 to 4, and you had what? 6. So B2, that's what I'll do. So with the 10 that you're giving to me, I'll add 2 to it, making what? 12. I add 2 to it, and this goes to those of you who are teachers. If you're a teacher and you teach, always make sure that you use both the connotations and the denotation. You don't only give the meaning of a word, but try to explain the concept by giving examples, especially if you are teaching the children, or probably the person is finding it very difficult to understand. The best solution is what? To use the denotational meanings, or to convey what? A meaning of a word to them, because that one they understand it more at the end of the day. So when the person understands the concept, now he or she will begin to what? Think about how the meaning of the connotation is. You said that even number is any number which is divisible by 2 without a remainder. That is the connotation. By the denotation, I've given you the examples. So okay. So any number, if I pick a number and I divide it by 2 and I don't get any remainder, it is a even number. Yeah. And the person will base on the example to just identify it. Now do you get it? So connotation and denotation, they are not difficult, they are simple, and I've explained them so simple for you. Let's move on to the next one here, the next item, which is what? Equivocations. So with equivocations, okay, so with equivocations, okay, I'm using my own slides, right? With the equivocation, when you talk of the equivocation, if more than one connotation of a word is used what? In the same context without any signal of the shift, with the intention to manipulate or persuade the speaker, is what we call what? Equivocation. So if what? two connotations, if more than one connotation of a word is used in the same context without any signal. And you know, critical thinking, let me explain something to you. Critical thinking is like you laying the foundation. If you lay the foundation well, it's likely that you'll be able to have a very good or a solid building. But if your foundation is very bad, you won't get anything. That's why I said that in the beginning, my first lecture, I said that you have to make sure you understand everything we are building. Because if you miss one of the things, getting to the middle or getting to the end, you find it difficult. An example is what we are doing right now with the connotations and the denotations. You see, if you don't understand connotation, now I'm using connotation to explain a word to you. How do you understand it? Do you get it? So it's a step-by-step approach. You have to understand it from the beginning to the end. So if you have not watched the previous video, go and watch it. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and share it with your friends. So share it in your various platforms for me, so your colleagues can also get to know more about that. If you benefit, if you are really benefiting, then please don't be selfish. Share it with your friends or share it in your platforms. So as I explained the connotation, now you know. Like now it is coming to tell you that if more than one connotation of a word, if you don't understand connotation, how can you understand what we are coming to do? So it is always good to pay attention and understand everything that we are doing. Do you get it? And UGRC is a university's required course. This means that if you fail this course, you can't graduate. You can't graduate, and you shouldn't even get less than B in the course. You should get at least A or B plus. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Get either A or B plus in critical thinking, because it is not difficult. But if you don't pay attention to it, it will mafia you loud. I'm trying to let you know. It is not something I have to hide it from you. You have to really pay attention to that. Now let's continue with what I was explaining to you. I said that if more than one connotation of a word, so when you mean that connotation of a word, you understand what the connotation means, okay? When maybe two other words, okay, maybe two sentences of a word, right, is trying to give its use, or okay, its use. Maybe you are saying something, you are trying to explain something in this way, and also try to also use another one, okay, to explain it in other way. Do you get it? Let's take like mobile phone. I say mobile phone is it's an electronic device for making call. Then I end there. I say that mobile phone is a communication device for browsing. Do you get it? It is two different connotations. So this is why we say that if more than one connotation of a word, so it means that it has to be two or more of a word is used in the same context without any signal of the shift, with the intention to manipulate or persuade. So mostly people use equivocation with the intention to manipulate or persuade someone. Assuming we are making an argument right now. We are making an argument, and you come and tell me that if you come and say that, let me give you an example. We are making an argument, and you come and say that it's not that I don't trust you, okay, but I just want to verify the information myself. It's not that I don't trust you. It is one connotation. It's not that I don't trust you, but I just want to verify the information myself. It's equivocation. The person doesn't trust you. You get it? But he doesn't want to make the thing loud to you. He doesn't want to make the thing loud that he doesn't trust you, just to keep the thing so low. Okay? So the person is is implying a distrust, but he is softening the statement. So with the intention to persuade you to say that, okay, this person cries like he's trusting me a bit too. It's not like he doesn't trust me at all. Do you get the point? It is equivocation. It's not like I don't trust you. I want to verify it myself. So even if you are saying the right thing and the person tells you this, yes, you'll be thinking, it's like the person trusts you, but just like he want to find the information. But it is a distrust, but it just doesn't want to tell you that it doesn't trust you. Okay? Or you propose to a woman. The woman was like, oh, it's not like I don't trust you. Give me time to think about it. Yes, it's in a form of what? Distrust. Do you get it? The person wants what? Maybe be certain with certain things before he or she was. So it's equivocation. I get. If you understand equivocation, drop a comment here. I'm talking to you, AC Ajua Kofi, Boachi Emmanuel, whosoever that is watching. If I was not able to mention your name, Vivian AC, I'm mentioning the name. So if you are the one, please make sure you drop it. If you are Kweku, if you are Ya, whosoever that you are, make sure you drop the comment with the equivocation. I want you to interact with me. If you drop the comment, I'll reply you, right? Don't think about me not replying you. I'll reply any comment you drop. I'll attend to you here, right? So I am active, even though you are watching it online, but I am still active. If you drop the comment, I'll reply. Okay, let's look at another example. If I say that I can neither confirm nor deny the allegation, it's equivocation. I can neither confirm or deny the allegation. It is equivocation. Why is it equivocation? It is equivocation because the person doesn't want to commit to a decision. Okay, let's take like, oh, have you heard that Nanado has sacked Ken Ofori-Atta? I don't want to make any statement about Nanado sacking Ken Ofori-Atta. So I said that, oh, I can neither confirm, okay, nor deny the allegations. Do you get the point? It is what? An equivocation. The person doesn't want to say something for you to what? To broadcast him. Let's say like the person is what? A top minister, or a top hierarchy. The person hasn't heard anything about the whole situation. He is not going to believe what the media is going to tell him until he confirms the thing from what? The cabinet, or maybe any information, minister of information, or any reliable person. So he said, I can what? I can neither confirm or deny the allegation. So he's trying to avoid a direct answer while acknowledging that there is a question. You have asked him, he knows you have asked him a question, but it's what? Avoiding the question. It is equivocation. So he's trying to shift just what? To persuade you, right? He's shifting from the kind of question you are asking him. It is what? Equivocation. Example, I will think about it. Oh, do you also like me? The person says, oh, me, I'll think about it. It is equivocation. Yes. Why is it equivocation? Because the person doesn't want to commit to a decision, leaving the outcome uncertain. He doesn't want to say, me, I like you back, or maybe I also like you. If he says that the question that you asked him, he has answered. So he's shifting from this thing to another thing by saying that, oh, I will think about it. It's equivocation. And let me give you another one. I'm not saying you are what? You are wrong, but I have a different perspective. He is shifting from the kind of what question you are asking him to another one. So that is why we said that equivocation is what? If more than one connotation, if more than one explanation or definition is used in the same context without a signal or shift, the person didn't really tell you that, oh, he is not going to answer your question, but I say what? I understand, but I have a different perspective. He's shifting from the question you are asking him. Mostly these people use this thing, it's equivocation. Now when you are talking, and people are trying to use equivocational words on you, you will know it. That's why critical thinking makes you smart. If you are working with me, or if you are my friend, don't be thinking you can play me with words or no. Before you think, I already know whatever you want to say. Me, somebody have done psychology, I've done some of these things, critical thinking, teaches critical thinking. You want to play with me sometimes. Just I don't like talking. So if you're with me, sometimes I always like play like I'm the foolish person. If you are not careful, that doesn't mean I don't know what you are doing. I know, but I don't want to mind. But if the day if I make a decision and that is, I don't go back to my decision until you decide. You get it? That is how it is. for me, that is the kind of person I am. You can be playing or be thinking you are the wisest person. Oh my, by the day I'll say it is enough. That is it. Right? Let's look at this one. Let's look at another example. The equivocation. I want you to understand it well. All right. So if I say that I'll try and make it to your party. I'm organizing a party. I've invited my girlfriend. Then my girlfriend will tell me that I will try and make it to the party. She's leaving the outcome what? Uncertain. She's leaving a room for what? Interpretation, whether the person will actually attend, whether she will attend or not. Do you get it? She's shifting from whatever I'm talking about just to persuade. He is giving me a positive energy at the same time, also leaving me uncertain. I get it. Please give me an example of an equivocation if you understand, and let me see. Let me now look at what the example they provided in your slides, because these examples, they will bring it either in your IAs or exams just to tempt you to know whether whatever they are talking is equivocation. So let me read these examples. If I say that I don't see why women always complaining that they do not enjoy the same freedom as men do. It is just a free country. So what is the problem? Everybody in Ghana here is free to do what they like. Yes. Can someone explain to me why this is an equivocation? Example 1. Can you explain to me? I don't see why women are always complaining that they do not enjoy the same freedom as men do. It is a free country. So what is the problem? Everybody in the country is free to do what they like. Please, your colleague can also be following the chat here and learn. And so I want my comment section to be like a chat room whereby people watching the videos can be checking comment and be learning from it. So please be dropping a comment. Explain to me why this is an equivocation. Another example, example 2. All these ones are assignment for you. Example 2. I don't see how you can say you are an ethical person. Is it so hard to get you to do anything? Your work ethics is bad. Your work ethics is bad. Why is it an equivocation? Can someone tell me why it's an equivocation? If you want to also learn more about this, go to the comment section and read comment, or be dropping your comment. And then the last one. Sure, philosophy helps you to argue better. But do you really need to encourage people to argue? You see, with this one, let me explain it myself. I say that philosophies help you to argue, right? But do you really need someone to help you? Sure, philosophy helps you to argue better. But do you really need to encourage people to argue? That's enough hostility in the world. So you see, it is telling you that philosophy really helps you to argue. He has acknowledged that yes, philosophy helps you to argue, but the person is also shifting from what? The whole argument to another thing, to say that do you really need to argue? Do you get it? The person is shifting from running from the question. Do you think that philosophy help us to argue? Yes, yes. Philosophy really helps us to argue, but do you really need to argue? It is equivocation. Let's now I'm expecting my answers. You see, don't be thinking I'm not online, even if it is 2 p.m., 1 or whatever time that you're watching me. Drop the comments, I will reply you, right? I'll reply you, you get the answer. Within 4 hours, I'll reply you, right? So just drop it anytime. Doesn't matter the number of years it has taken, just drop the comment, I'll reply you. Let me now okay, so let's now look at the types of definitions. We have lexical definition, we have ostensive definition, we have operational, stipulative definition, we have theoretical definition, and we have what? Real or ideal, illuminative or essential. They are all the same thing, right? So let's now talk about lexical definition. When you talk of lexical definition, it is something that we normally use. It's usually the same as what the connotation. If you understand connotation, it is not different from what lexical definition. We call it dictionary what definition, right? So why is it what a dictionary definition? And I'll explain to you better. Okay, let me now take it. So it is what a dictionary definition. Okay, please, before I take you through the definitions, okay, the various definition, let me before then, let me explain this concept to you before I move forward. We have the parts of definition. Each and every definition has two parts, like I explained to you in my first session, or the first session. I said that definition has what a subject and a predicate. So the same way, the subject and predicate are also the same as the definiendum and the definiend. The definiendum is the same as the subject, and definiend is the same as what the predicate. When you talk of the definiendum, it is what describe the word to be what describe, which is what the subject. So the word to be described, when you talk of a subject, it is what when a sentence, the person or the thing that the sentence talks about. If I say that even number is any number that is divisible by 2 without a remainder, you could see that the even number has been highlighted. So even number is the definiendum, and then the rest of the words becomes what our definiend, which is what the predicate. You get it? Triangle is a plane figure that with what with three sides and has all the interior angles summing up to 180 degrees. It is what it is a triangle is what our definiendum, and then the remaining words becomes what our definiends. When you talk of the definiends simply means that the rest of the words, okay, or the rest of the definition that conveys the meaning of the word. So after highlighting your definiend, the remaining becomes your definiendum. After highlighting the definiendum, the remaining becomes what your definiend. So give me 2 examples of what of words, and then highlight one. For the first one, you highlight what the definiend, and then the second one you highlight the definiendum. Do you get it? So do that for me. Drop it under the comment section. I'll go through. So let me now take you through. Even number is any number that is divisible by 2 without a remainder. So you could see that any number that is what divisible by 2 without a remainder becomes what the definiend. And then if I say a plane figure with 3 sides that has what all the interior angles summing up to 180, it is what a definiend. And if I say that a woman whose husband is dead is what a different, I'm explaining what. So if I say a widow is a woman whose husband is dead, if I underline what a woman whose husband is dead is what is the definiend. That is it. Now with the various types of definition, like I mentioned earlier, we are delving more into them. So with the first one, you have what a lexical definition. So it is called dictionary definition. It refers to the definition of words that are taken from dictionary. Do you get it? So it mostly describes connotation of words. Like I said, it is usually describing what connotations of words. Let's look at this example. A student is a listener enrolled in an educational institution. I explained this concept by what giving you features, attribute, and what property of who a student is. Like he's what a learner. And not just a learner. Everybody can learn. I can be learning on YouTube and I'm still not a student. But I said that enrolled in an educational institution. Yes. So it describes what a student by giving the features, the attributes and properties. If I say musician is someone who conducts or composes music as a profession. I gave you definition of what who a musician is, but I said that the person would conduct means that it's either you conduct, you sing, or you compose, someone you write. Okay, someone that writes music as a profession is what a musician, and that is what the whole thing. And that is it. Let's look at the second type of definition. That is what The second type of definition is what we call ostensive definition. What ostensive definition is sometimes become difficult to use words to convey the meaning of certain words, such as words such as what. So let me take it again. Sometimes it becomes difficult to use words to convey the meaning of certain words, such as that it becomes more appropriate to show or point to an object to convey the meaning of the word. To understand the definition is when you give an example or point out to an object to convey the meaning of a word. So ostensive definition has what? A connection with a denotation. It has a connection with denotation. So if you understand connotation and denotation, they are no different from that is what lexical definition and ostensive definition. So with this one, example, this is where you use example, like when you try to give a meaning of a word by giving example. If I say that if you don't know what color what red is, okay, and I say that using blood, if I say that look at the person, the person standing in front of you. Have you seen the person standing in front of you? He's wearing a red shirt, okay. I'm trying to explain what red is, but I don't know how to explain it, so I'm pointing to someone wearing a red shirt to show that the person is what that one is what red. Or if I use blood to convey the meaning of what a word, or if I see someone dancing an azonto and I say that the people dancing is what we call azonto, you don't understand azonto, you ask me and I should point out to people dancing azonto. Example again, if I say that with the ostensive, if I say that okay, providing a specific pointing to a specific cat and saying that this is a cat, it is what ostensive definition. Or pointing to, or when you try to point to a dog, okay, a picture of what, when you are showing a picture of a dog and saying that this is what a dog, or gesturing towards what a chair and saying that this is what a chair, it is what ostensive definition. And this ostensive definition is usually, we use this to explain things to people who are not really educated or not well educated, or children that have what have very difficult, find it difficult to understand the lexical definitions or the connotational definitions. Children that are people that find it difficult to understand some difficult concept, you use examples to explain. And in my teachings, I'm using the connotation and the denotation. If I give you the connotation and you don't understand, I give you the denotation, but I state the examples for you to understand it. So my teaching is what? A practical example of a connotation and denotation. And I explain the concept, you may find it difficult, then I break it by giving you an example. So with the example will help you to understand the concept very well. Let's move on to the next one, which is operational. When you talk of operational, is when a series of step-by-step procedure is required to be followed when in order to arrive at what a meaning of a word. So this is where you follow step-by-step procedure to arrive at the meaning of a word. It's what we call what? Operational. Just think about you trying to direct someone to Accra, okay, or you trying to explain a concept to someone by giving a step by step. You want to show someone a specific recipe, then I tell you, if you want to prepare this recipe, put sugar, one spoon of sugar, add Milo, add milk, and then add, let's say, like avocado, add mango, add pineapple. Yeah, pineapple is in there. Okay, so you add mango, put it in a blender, blend it together. After you are done, put it in the fridge for 2 hours and drink it. Do you get it? I'm explaining. Maybe I have my own definition for that recipe. Let's say like I have J-Praise recipe, but I want to show you the J-Praise recipe, but you don't really know what a J-Praise recipe is. So I give you that procedure. I'm trying to explain what J-Praise recipe is, but by giving you an example. So it's not just example, by step procedure. Do you get it? Think of you teaching someone or explaining what a benkwan or palm nut soup to someone by using step-by-step procedure. Please, how do you explain that? If you want to explain what a palm nut soup is to somebody by giving a step-by-step procedure, the women, everybody should drop a comment under the comment section, and I'll attend to you. Or give me example of an operational definition. If I say that example is, to understand what an even number is, do the following. Take any number between 1 and 10, divide that number by 2, then check to see for a remainder. If there is no remainder, then that number is an even number. It is what? And how do you call it? Operational definition. And I explained the other forms of other meanings of words to you. That is what the operational, the connotational, and then the denotational meanings of the words. I have already explained those concepts to you, right? So it is very simple to understand them. It is very simple to understand them. And the same type of even number, I can explain it in its logical form, explain it in its ostensive form, explain it in its operational form. You get it? You can explain it in different ways. So when people are explaining concept, now you'll be able to know whether the type of definition they are using. Let's look at after ostensive we have okay, we've done operational. Let's go to theoretical. Theoretical definition refers to meanings of words that come from theories that have gained acceptance in the specific fields of scientific knowledge. Those theoretical definitions, they gain recognition from specific fields. When you are learning to cook, okay, no, sorry, with the theoretical, okay, with a theoretical definition, it refers to meaning of a words that came from theories. Example, let me give you an example. Water is H2O. So to understand the definition of H2O, everybody knows that water is H2O especially, but it is difficult. If you are not a scientist, it will be very difficult to understand what H2O is. But H2O represents water. So if you go to a hospital and then the doctor writes H2O, you'll find it difficult. But it's a definition of a concept, which is 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. So H stands for hydrogen. The 2 in between them is the 2 hydrogens, and then the oxygen, we can't write, it is only 1 oxygen. So when you put 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen together, you have water. So that's why we call it H2O. So that one, you must be a mathematician before you understand it. If I say equilibrium quantity and you are not economist, you won't understand it. If I say dichotic listening and you are not a psychologist, you will not understand it. Do you get it? Or if I say separation of powers and you are not political scientist, you won't understand the separation of powers I'm talking about. Or judicial review. Okay, if you are not a political scientist, you won't understand what a judicial review is. Okay, so those concepts have gained meaning from a specific field, and they've been accepted internationally. And you can think about that. Even number is if I say even number and you are not a mathematician, you will not understand it. Okay, so to understand the definition, you must have been taught mathematics, or you must be a mathematician. That's where you can understand that. So we are left with 2 definitions to go. All right, so let's look at the 5th types of definition. The 5th type of definition, which is a stipulative definition. When we talk of a stipulative definition, it's a meaning of a word which is agreed upon for the purpose of a debate or discussion. Okay, or a project, when to say or a project. So when you agree on a specific meaning of a word for the purpose of argument. Let me give you an example. there are so many words in this world, right? But if you take one word like love, love has so many meanings. Love can mean an affection, it can mean an emotions, it can mean someone's feeling for someone, it can mean someone being sincere, it can mean someone being generous, and in so ways, okay. Or love can even mean sex to somebody. Do you understand it? Love has what? It has so many meanings. So this kind of words, they are open textured, and I'll explain these things to you in this session. This session it covers so many things. So if you miss this session, whatever I'm teaching you, you are going to miss so many things, okay? And in the subsequent sessions, you find it difficult. That's why you need to watch the video to an end. So let me give you some example. If I say that, even we take a word sister. Sister has so many meanings. People call people sister because they are their workers, they are their fellow workers. Somebody calls someone sister because the person is his or her Facebook or WhatsApp friend. So you say, "What? You are my friend." Someone also will call somebody a friend because the person has been closer to him or her. So you call the person what? A sister. So there are so many ways we can explain sister. So when you say that, for the purpose of argument, if I say because I don't want you to argue with me or doubt whatever I'm saying, so we say that for the purpose of argument, let us agree that sister is someone who follows what? The latest trends in fashion, car, and then music. So that is what? A sister. For some, because if I explain sister, you are likely to doubt me or say this is not how we explain sister. But for you not to argue with me, or for us to settle on a specific argument, let us now agree that sister is it. Or for a purpose of an argument, let us now say that love means an affection. It could be in a form of debate. You're having a debate with somebody. Now, if you don't settle on a specific definition for something, people will go overboard. So when you are explaining, so we set the limit that, let's take love to be what? Feelings for somebody. Okay? So every argument you are anything you come up with, it should be centered on what? A feeling that someone has for somebody. And that is what we are referring to what? As love. And in Christianity, if someone says love, it means what? The person what? Like loving you unconditionally, whether you are making mistake or you are not making mistake, whether you are coming to church or you're not coming to church, the person loves you without, not because of your money, not because of anything you have. That is what? The unconditional love. But in our current dispensation, people see love to be what? Money. So many people see love to be money. If you don't have money, you don't even deserve love. There was a certain man, that is Maurice Sampao, right? Even once said that, is it Maurice Sampao or yes, he once said that, what is the poor man doing behind love? Do you get it? So people take love to be that, okay, if you have money, then you are to you deserve love, or you are like you are love. If you don't have money, you don't have anything doing with love. And it is what? It is where we are shifting towards. We are selling our values because of money. Do you get it? But if you love somebody, it shouldn't be centered on it. But I'm trying to tell you that people have what? Their own ways of explaining certain things. Okay? I can maybe love you because of your looks. Okay? Or I love you because of the money you have. That is it. So if the person doesn't have money, then you don't see that one to be a meaning of what? Love. So to argue with people like that, and you say, oh, love means what? Loving someone unconditionally. A person will disagree with you that doesn't mean that. It means that the person has money and I'm following the person or something like that. I'm getting, the person is providing for me. So if you are not providing for me, that one is not love. Do you understand? So that is a stipulative definition. And let's look at another example. Let's look at examples from the slides. Okay, we said that it says that, okay, suppose if someone says to love someone is willing to die for the person. Yes, we suppose that to die for someone means willing to die for the person. Or take human to mean any member of what any member of the species Homo sapiens. So that one is what we are settling on, that definition for the purpose of argument. Or to another one is that for the purpose of argumentation, we will define student as to be what a person under 18 enrolled in a local school. So we say that person is what a student. That one already we have agreed on it, so you can't come and be disagreeing on me because I said that student is what under 18 and it has been enrolled in school. You can't come and tell me somebody is 60 years and is in school. So we have agreed on it for the purpose of argument. That is what a stipulative definition. And in going forward, we use the stipulative definition more. Let's look at another concept, which is what real definition. That is the last aspect. With a real definition, a definition that provides a core meaning or essential meaning of a word that conveys the definition. That is to say what a definition. Let me take what the real definition. The real definition again. The real definition, it is the same as what illuminative definition or essential definition. So when you get some of these things in your essay or anything, it is what a real definition. So you say that it provides the core meaning or the essential meaning of a word. That is it. It provides the core meaning. So the definition provides what all the features and only those features are appropriately belong to. So let's look at it with the core definition. The core definitions are definitions that are without problems or that are not open tested. And with the real definitions, they are mostly words from the how do you call it, the science or maths background. These are what the areas that you can find real definition, because with those areas the meanings and the explanations you provide are actually what are just, they are not open tested. When I say open tested, you understand they don't have several meaning. Do you get it? So we say it is a real definition. Example is what even number. Even number is any number that is divisible by 2 without a remainder. That is what a real definition. Why is it a real definition? Because it is only one definition. You can't find any other type of even number or any other type of definition for this one. But pick a word like love. You can explain it in so many contexts. Another example is if I say H2O. H2O is what? Water. H2O is the only one concept we have. It is a scientific word. We don't have H2O in psychology or H2O in sociology. We don't have equilibrium quantity in science or math. Do you get it? It's an economic term. So that one is what? A real definition. So with a real definition, definition makes what? It appropriately clear, and all the things or the objects in the world that are correctly called or pick out by the word. Okay, so that is what a real definition. With a real definition, we call them illuminative definitions or essential definitions. Why? Because the definiendum, when you talk of the definiendum, is a subject. I've explained it to you. So the definiendum could be eliminated and replaced by the definitions in every context where the word which is being defined is used. So with the real definitions, you can eliminate what? The definiendum, and it will still mean the same. You can eliminate what? The subject, and the predicate will still talk about. When you read only the predicate, you understand whatever we are talking about. That is what we call a real definition. Let me give you an example. Any number that is divisible by 2 without a remainder. This one, you don't need to think twice before you tell me that it is what? An even number. I didn't provide a definiendum, which is the subject. I didn't provide a subject. But at the end of the day, you know that I'm talking about even number. You know that if I say that, let's now look at this. Okay. Let me give you another example. Okay, let's look at this example again. If I say that any plane figure that has 3 sides, and then that has what 3 sides. Let me explain. Okay, if I try to say that it's a polygon with 3 sides and 3 angles. A polygon with 3 sides and 3 angles. It is what we call what? This one, you understand it. You know that I'm talking about triangle, because triangles are what? Polygons, and they have 3 sides, what? And then 3 angles. So it's a typical example of what? A triangle. So with this one, you don't really need to actually what? Think about it twice. So with the real definition, you can take out what? The subject, and it will still mean the same. Let's look at the other form of what? The other type, which is what? Open textured. So already you know what a real definition is. When you say word is an open textured, it has so many definitions. It has so many definitions. To talk about example, these words are words from the social sciences. If I say social sciences, it means psychology, political science, information studies, how do you call it? Those social sciences, that is it. Okay, and let's look at it. So a well-defined term. Okay, a well-defined term, I've already explained that. I'm looking at what? The other aspect, which is what? The open textured words. Okay, so with the open textured word, like I said, with the open textured words, they are words from what? The social sciences. That is what? These words are love, anxiety, the fidelity, you know, words that we use in our daily conversation. Most of them are what? Open textured. Those words are what? Open textured. Why? Because those words, they have what? Several meaning, and they are open to several interpretation. If I say I love you, it is open to several interpretation. Is it why? Because maybe it could be that I'm trying to what? Admire you in a way, like a brotherly way, or I love you just to what? To stay with you, to be my wife, or I love you because I want to what? To actually have an affair with you. Do you get it? So it is open to several interpretation. Let's talk about a word like humility. When I say humility, somebody could say humility means being honest. Okay, humility means being honest. I can also explain humility as an act of what? As an act of not thinking that you are too big than, or you are more important than somebody. It is what? Humility. Somebody can also tell me another form of what? Humility. So please give me an open textured term and try to explain it in 2 ways. Okay, if like you are picking lava, explain it in 2 different ways. And let me see. So open textured are open to several interpretations. These are what we call it, the open textured words. They are open to several interpretation. So the open textured word, you can use some words like family, like this. So you can use any of these like words: family, justice, intelligence, equity, democratic process, life, love, wisdom, modernity, fidelity. These words, they are open to several interpretations, and you can explain them in more than what? You can use more than 5 definitions for them, and you may not understand. If I say having a mercy for somebody, and if I say having mercy for somebody, can you tell me what it means? Drop the comment. Having mercy for somebody, tell me the word having mercy for what having mercy for somebody means, the definition, the definition for that word, or the subject for that word, having definition. Somebody will say that having mercy for somebody means compassion. Somebody will say having mercy for somebody means love. Somebody will say having mercy for someone means being honest or being kind. Do you get it? It is open to several interpretations, but with the real definition, the difference between the real definition and the open tested word is that with the real definition, with that one, when you even take the subject, it is what you can't give me any other definition like the even number explained or the triangle I trying to explain. When you take the definition or the subject out, it will still mean the same. You give me the same concept. Opportunity cost. Okay, if I give you the definition for opportunity cost and I take the opportunity cost out, you will go back and come back and you still give me the same concept for opportunity cost. But it will be difficult to do same for love because it has so many interpretations. So these are the differences between open textured words and the other words, other type of words, which are what the yes. So and the real definitions. Let's look at the problems of definitions. Problems of definition. So we have too narrow. There are so many problems with definitions, and this is the last thing we are doing. Too narrow. When we say something is too narrow, it's when the definition does not cover all the things that are correctly belong in the denotation of the word. So if a definition that you give do not really cover all the things that you are giving, or when you say that when a topic is overly specific, focusing on small aspects while ignoring the broader implications, it is called what? Too narrow. Now you can think about a word being too narrow. Example is the types of coffee marks with red handles is too narrow, because if I say the type of coffee marks with red handles, it's what? It's too narrow because it excludes the other colors and types of what? Marks, right? Limiting the scope of what? Limiting the scope unnecessarily. Another example is what? If I say that brands of what? Smartphone released in 2020. Okay, brands of smartphones are brands of smartphone released in 2020. It is what? If you say brands of smartphones released in 2020, it is too narrow because it excludes smartphones from other years and overlook the other types of mobile devices like tablets and smartwatches. Do you get it? So I have limited the definition for a smartphone by saying that they are what? The brands of a smartphone means what? Brands of a phone means what? For mobile phone means what? Brands of smartphone released in 2020. It is narrow. There are some that were produced in what? 2019. Some were produced in what? 1990, 2010, and all those ones. You've eliminated them. That's not the only thing you have eliminated. You've also eliminated the other type of phones, which is what? You have excluded. You have what? You have excluded what? Mobile devices like tablets and what? Smartwatches. Do you get it? So that is it. It is too narrow. Now, if you understand too narrow, give me example by dropping it under the comment section. I'll check it. But always make sure you are specific. If it is too narrow, say too narrow. If it is too broad. Now let's look at a word being too broad. If you say a word is too broad, what we are trying to say is that what you are trying to say is that the definitions cover things that do not belong in the connotation of the word. So it covers words that do not really belong in what the word. Or if you say a word is too broad, it is where your definition covers things that are not supposed to be in that sentence. Okay, then we say it is a problem of definition or it is too broad. The whole thing, or let me explain it in this way: it's when a topic or concept encompasses of too much information, making it difficult to discuss effectively within a reasonable time frame or space. Example 1, it say history of the world. Okay, history of the world. If you say history of the world, it is too broad because it covers everything from the beginning of time to the present day, making it impossible to delve into the meaning and into what meaningful detail in the single discussion. If you are, let's say, like they ask you to make an argument and they say, oh, you are coming to talk about history of the world, it is too broad. Which of the history are you talking about? You see, history of Ghana, history of the accounts. Which of the histories are you talking about? Your topic sentence. I'm going to academic writing. Your topic or your thesis statement is too broad. It is too broad, so you have to limit it to a point where now you can cover. Because if you say history of the world, you can't talk about the history of the world. You can't talk about everything that happened. Can you? Were you there in the 12 BC and then even the AD? You were not there, so you can't talk about it. Let's look at this example. Example 2. It says that history of humanity. History of humanity is too broad because it encompasses of the entire story of human civilization from the earliest human ancestors to the present day. It includes countless events, cultures, and development across different regions and time periods, making it impossible to cover comprehensive comprehensive in a single discussion or study. This topic would require narrowing it down to specific areas like religions or themes to be effectively explored. So that is all about the too narrow. So when I'm done, I'll take you through the slides, then we look at some of the examples and in the slides. So when they give you questions on that, you can do that. Let's look at something being too vague. When they say something is too vague, it means that when the topic or the concept lacks clarity or specificity, right, making it challenging to understand or discuss effectively. When it is it lacks some concept, right? Example, when we are talking and I say, oh, I ask you, when are you coming? Then you say very soon. It lacks some specificity, right? You didn't really specify when you are coming. When are you coming? Oh, I'll be here by 12. Yes, you have been specific, but so very soon can be tomorrow, very soon can be next year, very soon can be. So it is what? It is vague. Now you can think of words being vague. Oh, when are you getting married? Oh, don't worry, some few days to come I'll marry. It is vague. Some few days. Which of the days? Oh, maybe next year January, next year this. You get it? So your person wasn't specific here, and it is what? Too vague. It is vague. Now we'll look at some of the examples in your slides. After I'm done with these examples, I'll give you some examples in your slides to understand it better. Example here, you said what? Improving productivity. When you say improving productivity, it is vague. A vague sentence is when what? A topic lacks what? I've explained it. So when you say improving productivity, which type? It says what? It's vague because it doesn't specify which aspect of productivity or in what context, making it what? Unclear. And what strategies and methods you are going to focus on. So if you say you are going to improve, especially this, I normally have problem with these politicians who normally say, when you ask them, honorable, when are you doing our road? You say, oh, don't worry at all. Plans are far advanced. Plans are far advanced. Which of the plans? What are you doing? Okay, it is vague. The honorable was vague. And you can think about it. Plans are far advanced. Okay, you are not being specific to me. Oh, Guys, imagine you being a woman, okay, and a guy comes to propose to you. Then all you can tell the guy is that, oh, I understand everything that you are saying, but very soon I'll give you the answer. Very soon, you are being vague. That's why some of them run from you, because now people don't wait again, or people don't have time to wait. If it comes and you are trying to trick, it's the olden ways that they used to do these kind of things. So that's someone who propose and you keep the person now like 5 years, or because there are some code being a master. If the person will play you, play you. If the person won't play you, a guy can spend like 10 years waiting for you, and if he still play you, he will play you. Those of you who understand. Do you get it? But there are some people, if they are nice, if they have good intentions, it's just about you knowing or going for what you want. That is it. But some people will say that, and it's saying that, if you understand if you give the person answer, the person will be thinking you are cheap. Master, if you are cheap, the guy already knows. If you are not cheap too, he knows. It's not the time that you trying to pretend will make him see that you are cheap or you are not cheap. If you are cheap, he knows. If you are not, he knows. So it's just by knowing what you want. And in the olden days, there was this kind of how do you call it? It's a way of learning, right? Whilst we are learning, we are studying something. How do you call it? The form of relationship we're having these two types of we were using this parasitic relationship in the olden days, where like guys do everything, but in this context things have changed. So as you are here, you are learning. So and now we've shifted to what? The parasitic, the symbiotic, whereby relationship, families or couples share ideas together, or they share responsibilities together, and that will make you unique. So you are coming to university, learn these things, and it will help you improve in other aspects. People will not take you for granted. Do you get it? But if you always are glued to the old way of doing things, master, that's where the disappointment will come in. It's not the time that you reply the guy and then the better said. If you reply the guy, or you give the person 5 months now, you approve, and you still don't understand some of these things about relationship, they will always go, all right? Because now responsibilities are shared. Like I said, that is how the whole thing is. Let's look at the last aspect. When you say something is secular or begging the question, what does it mean? Secular or begging the question. It's where is the definitions repeat the definiendum. Like I told you, if you don't understand definition, how can you even understand what this one? When the definition repeat the definiendum. When the definition repeat the definiendum. Can someone explain this to me? If you really understand whatever I'm doing, I want someone to explain this under the comment section for me. When the definition explains the definiendum, what does it mean? What does this mean? It means that the definition, or let me put it this way, when the predicate explains the subject, when the predicate explains the subject, it means that the word that you are giving, let's say like you say, let's say like you say, I give you an example. You say mobile phone is a phone for making calls. If you don't understand, I don't understand mobile phone, and I've asked you to explain mobile phone for me, then you say mobile phone is a phone for making calls. So how do I understand it? You are using what? The predicate here to explain the subject for me. So you have repeated mobile phone that I asked you to explain in your definition. It is what we call what? The secular or begging the question. Another example. It says what? It say another example one. Secular reasoning is using the statement to support itself. Okay, let me look at this. The policy is fair because it is fair. This is the example, the clear example. If I say this policy is fair because it is fair, I don't understand what fair means, and I'm asking you what is a fair policy. Then you say this policy is fair because it is fair. So the explanation is secular or begging because it what defines fairness in terms of what? Of itself, without offering any additional explanation to the criteria. That is it. Okay. So with the example, if I say computer is an electronic device for computing, I don't understand computer. I have asked you to explain computer. You say computer is an electronic device for computing. There's computer and you're using computing. How will I understand it? I don't understand humanity. I've asked you, or humility. I've asked you to explain humility. Then you say humility is being humble. How will I understand it? Or I ask you, who is a driver? Then you say a driver is anyone who knows how to drive and drives. It is what? It is what? A problem, because I don't understand driving. So if I don't, with this one, if I don't understand what driving means, I won't be able to understand who a driver is. Do you get it? So we say it is what? Secular or begging the question. So in your exam, they can give you similar question, and they ask you to what? To identify. You may not see secular, but if you see begging the question, it's the same. So secular and begging the questions, they are the same. And with the vague, okay, if I say the vague, I'm giving you, see, I told you that I'll be taking you through your slides and give you example on the vague statement. With the vague, if I say that the president is the head of a country, what does the head of country means? You are not being specific. It is what? Vague. If I say factual statement is a statement that describes, okay, what does it describe? Does it describe toys, human beings, or what? It is what? Too vague. And let me take you through the examples of what? Too broad. If I say a student is an individual in uniform, individual in uniform, we have police, nurses, doctors, cooks, all of them are in uniform. So you didn't really cover the specific words that you were supposed to cover for me. Do you get it? Someone in uniform, you have been too broad, like you have covered things that were not supposed to be there. You means that someone in uniform, you have even included carpenters. Some of them are in uniform. Do you get it? So it is got too broad. It is broad, like you've covered things that are not supposed to be there. And when you talk of too narrow also is what? Example, if I say that a chair is a wooden object for one person to sit on the back with a support and has only 4 legs. A chair is what? A wooden object for one person to sit on with a back support and has what? Only 4 legs. This is what? It is too broad. It is too narrow, because it means that benches, wheelchairs, sofa chairs are also what? Are examples of what? Of chairs. It means that what? Benches, and then those ones cannot be what? Sofa chairs cannot be what? Called chair. Do you get it? You are too narrow, because it's a wooden object for what? For one person to sit on it with a back support and has 4 legs. Okay, you have left some things like sofa chairs and other stuff, right? And it's a wooden. We also have other we have some chairs that we use plastic. There are some chairs that are made of plastics. There are some chairs that are made of how do you call it? Other forms. Do you get it? Sofa chairs. Okay, so all these ones are metals. There are some chairs that are made of metals. So you've left some of the important things out. So we say it is too narrow. So this is it. Please, I'll be bringing you session 3 soon. Make sure you subscribe and share the video with your friends. Okay, subscribe and share it with your friends, and God will continue to bless you.